One thing before we jump into this, the gameplay is not mine. A lot of this, I've been watching it as it's been recording, it's cringy, so ignore it. Let's get into the video. Okay, so this one is about Elden Ring, and I'm going to hit you with it straight away. This is not the typical video you would see on this channel. I'm actually thoroughly excited to get my hands on this game. I have just finished watching a 39-minute video of Asmongold playing the game spoiler-free, and I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips. But just quickly before we get into this one, if you're not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do turn notifications on. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, all support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description, and let's get into it. So, I recently did a video on the best starter class for anyone that's going to be jumping into Elden Ring. And since then, I've been looking at a lot more stuff regarding the game. And then I saw, recently posted, Asmongold got to play the actual game. So I sat there and I watched, and at first I was thinking, oh okay, it's looking kind of bland and it's big open areas and there's not much to it. And then boom. You see the enemies, you see these bosses. This game looks fucking fantastic. There were so many boss fights, and I know there's cuts and stuff, it was a video from a live stream, but the bosses, they have all these weird attacks. You see these gigantic creatures, like jumping up and down, and this is a game that I actually cannot wait to get my hands on. But I will say, for those of you that do not like a challenge, don't pick this game up. This game hasn't been designed to be an easy ride through. You're gonna get stressed. I mean, as some of you are probably gonna chuck your controllers and stuff through your monitors, punch holes in your walls, destroy your equipment, all that sort of stuff, because it will induce a lot of rage. There's PvP in this game. There's going to be co-op, so you can summon players into boss fights, and they can do the same thing for you. There's 10 different character classes available in the game. There's this beautiful world they've created, and these absolute beastie bosses. I mean, they're like pure monsters that you're going to be fighting. And some of the weapons look absolutely fantastic. As you play through, you level up. If you can't take down a boss, you keep dying, move on to a different area, try a different boss, try different enemies, level up, put your stats into your skills and everything, like put your points into increasing your stats, go back, take the previous boss down. A couple of things I did notice that were a little bit negative is the mount that you get, like your horse, seems to be incredibly powerful in terms of keeping you alive and giving you that extra maneuverability against bosses. Although, I mean, it's just taking advantage of a game mechanic, so it's not exactly exploiting, glitching, or anything like that. It's just powerful because it gives you that boost in your speed, your maneuverability, and everything like that. And another one was, there were quite a few frame drops, especially when you had the big, like, beefy bosses on the screen. But this was early gameplay for Elden Ring. This wasn't the final build as far as I'm aware. So I'm hoping there's a lot more polish, and I'm hoping the game does release in a, like, solid playable state. It should do. The majority of the gameplay was very, very smooth. It was just every now and then there would be a couple of frame drops. But optimization could have been improved massively since Asmongold got his hands on this. And I mean, on console, it's going to be capped at, I think it's 60 FPS on the next gen, or whatever it may be, it's going to be capped. Whereas PC, you can play without VSync on and stuff, and you can unlimit your frame rate, and sometimes that can cause issues. So we're going to have to see in terms of the PC. I believe console will be a stable experience. And I mean, this game, I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's looking absolutely fantastic, a game that I'm willing to drop a lot of hours into. I've not had too much experience with the Dark Souls series, but even without the experience, you can jump into this game, and I mean, if you don't know anything about it, go and check out the trailers and stuff. Like, have a look at the gameplay from Asmongold. I'll leave it linked in the description. It's spoiler free, as I said, it even states in the title, no spoilers. It's early gameplay, and these bosses, just the gameplay itself. Huge, beautiful looking open areas. different bits of loot and weapons, all the different classes, and then you get the bosses and they're phenomenal. They're big, they're scary, they will two-shot you, so you have to be very careful. This is definitely going to be one of those cases where you're going to have a little bit of luck, but as long as you get in there, you figure out the boss's mechanics and how they work, you'll be able to take them down. Something like Cuphead, you keep going through the bosses over and over again, and you eventually master their mechanics and you take them down. And because it's such a challenge, because it's so difficult, when you do eventually take that boss down, the sense of accomplishment, that feeling you're going to get, you're going to feel really, really good about it. So I will definitely be jumping on this game. If you enjoy the look of Elden Ring, make sure you stay tuned to the channel. I'll be trying to cover some other stuff, maybe some tips and things as we get closer and closer to the release. I'm not 100% sure on the release date for Elden Ring, and that's purely because looking on Steam it says the 24th of Feb, and then looking on Google it says the 25th, so I'm going to see what it says for the Xbox store. I'm not sure if there's early access for a bigger edition of the game. No, even Xbox is saying 25th, so I don't understand why Steam says the 24th. I'm not entirely sure at all, because you go to the recent events and announcements on Steam and it even says 1 week to go, which was posted on the 18th. So unless Steam's got the date wrong, I'm pretty sure it is the 25th Elden Ring comes out. Xbox says the 25th, Google says the 25th, other websites that track release dates of games and stuff say the 25th. It's just Steam that's saying the 24th, but then they did post 1 week to go on the 18th. So unless it's like 11 PM on the 24th or something like that. If there is any way you guys can clear that up for me, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm so excited to get my hands on this, and I really hope I don't have to come back with rants where the game's broken. I don't think I'm going to. I've seen early gameplay, and besides the couple of frame drops here and there, it looks to run smooth on PC, and I mean the port over to console should hopefully work successfully. But as of now, everything I've looked into, the gameplay I've seen, looks absolutely fantastic. But as I said, if you struggle with games, your skill level's not that high, you don't have patience, you don't have a lot of time to sink in fighting one boss over and over again, then just steer clear of the game. Honestly, I think this game's going to take up a lot of people's time. Even if you're playing for a couple of hours once a week, I think you're going to be sinking a lot of time into the game over time, because it just looks out of this world. But what we're going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it.